Hello friends, my name is Gopal Garag. At present I am working as superintendent in Government Senior Secondary School, Chandi district, Solan. This lecture I am going to deliver is the English version of the earlier my same lecture on the subject in Hindi. Let's start. Today's topic is the subject matter of political science. Friends, before we proceed, it is better to get ourselves conversant with the difference between the political science and polity, because I have seen in my own experience, and I have seen people, they are confused about political science and polity. Both are different. However, some topics studied in both polity and political science overlap. Polity refers to the way the government functions, or we can say how government runs, or we can say the ways of government in functioning, more specifically way of administrating or functioning of the government. That is polity. Let's start. In my opinion, there are only though there are other topics which are included in the subject matter of political science, but I want to say here that experts of the matter in this country and other countries are not the same opinion that what points or what topics should be discussed in subject political science. Of course, there is consensus that these two topics must be studied in political science. Our concern about what is being included in the books as recommended or being studied at schools of government of HP under Himachal Pradesh School Education Board, Dharamshala. First one is constitution and second one is form of government. Friends, what is constitution? Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Supreme law of the land itself says that in the country how the government will function and what power it will use. This is polity. And the power that is said to be used by the government is actually used by three organs of government. These are three organs of government: legislature, executive and judiciary. These three organs are given their sphere of work, and constitution itself contains command of the country as to the what will be the right of the citizen and what will be right of the government, and what will be the right of legislature, what will be the rights of executive, and what will be the rights of judiciary. Also, constitution itself says about the relation between citizen and government, state and state and central government, and inter se relation between states. This is one portion we have studied. The other subject matter, point 2, form of government. The constitution, through its preamble, I have forgotten discussing this point. Preamble is the object page which says about objective. The constitution is what all about, or what objective the country or framers of constitution aim at to run country with. The constitution itself defines the country as to what it will be: a democracy, whether it will be a socialist country, whether it will be a communist country or other form of country. How the form of countries get differentiated? It is because of the sources of production and their control by the government. If government takes a very lenient control of the sources of production, and it uses the various sources of production, the consents or with the opinion of the people or its citizens, then it will be called the democratic country. And if the resources of production of a country is so much controlled that it takes the objective that by using its sources of production a maximum nationwide or society wide objective should be achieved, then it will be called a socialist government or economy. We can say that the country is having a socialist system of governance if government poses very hard control over the sources of production. If the country or government imposes very harsh control over sources of production, then it will be called a communist country. Here is a point to be remembered that both these systems are very much seems to be similar, but their degree differs with respect to the limit which is imposed by the government on the sources. Here also government imposes very strong restrictions or control over the resources of production, but in comparison to the communist it is somehow lesser control as compared to communist country. And because of the behavior of government regarding the control over the resources of production, only this point changes the form of government. Here comes a very interesting fact comes for in original preamble of our constitution, which was implemented or adopted in year 1950, there was no mention of word socialist, and the word socialist in the preamble was included only after 44th Amendment Act. This 44th Amendment, this socialist word has been included in our constitution preamble. It is very interesting, and I leave this point to the viewers of this lecture that they to point it, they try to clear it out that why at the same time we are democratic and at the same time we have been defined as a socialist. In the earlier lecture I have made it very much clear that both these systems of government, democracy and socialist, are somehow clashing system of governance. Then how these two words, democracy and socialist, have been included in the preamble at the same time, same place? I also leave it to the viewers that they try to find the effect of including both these words in the constitution and the purpose and effect thereof. And with these words I conclude my lecture. Thank you.